list here. Okay, I will go to item number 4. 4A was a presentation by Commissioner Gary Fickus, Tarrant County Precinct number 3. We were expecting Commissioner Fickus, but I'll take the opportunity. I know that Commissioner Fickus was going to present the upcoming Tarrant County bond, transportation bond. It's $400 million, and it's November 2nd is when that opportunity to vote on that bond. I know the bond is a transportation focused bond, and provides monies for many projects throughout Tarrant County, but also it has monies for roadways in our area. Haslet itself has monies for specific to Haslet, Texas, as well as Fort Worth has monies particular for Blue Mound Road, or not Blue Mound, yes, Blue Mound Road, and also Avondale Haslet Road to carry those projects out to 287. It is provides an opportunity to do much improvement throughout Tarrant County. So I will leave it at that, and should Commissioner Fickus show up here soon, I'll let him have that opportunity to do a presentation, which would be much better than what I just did. Very good. So 4B.
Quick question on that, Mayor.
Yes.
If we don't hear back from Gary Fickus, I know you said his volunteering, are we going to be able to get any advance copy of the presentation?
I will check with his office. I will check with his office, and if he has a slide presentation, I'm quite sure he'll share it with us. Okay. And I'll pass that on. We'll if you make a note, we can call his office tomorrow. Should he not come in this afternoon or this evening? 4B. This is always a great pleasure. 4B and 4C, but 4B is the 15-year service award to Waterworks Wastewater Supervisor James Tucker. Do you have those pictures available? This afternoon, we went ahead and did our presentation, took some pictures, and James and I had the opportunity to present him with his plaque. But 15 years, I want to tell you, Council, that we are just we're blessed to have the employees that we do that serve our community. They're all outstanding. Appreciate every one of them. And James, just an exemplary guy, and committed, and truly is committed to the community. And very professional and very knowledgeable in all that he does. Thank you, James. 4C is again to another outstanding person. That's true. It's Marcy Lamb, our finance director. Again, a gifted individual in finance, and I'm sure many other areas as well. But it's such a pleasure to be able to work with very knowledgeable people who are at the top of their game. And Marcy, you're one of those. Thank you so very much. We appreciate it, and it's a pleasure. And thank you. 5 years of service. And we're looking for, how many, we were talking about that, another 30 years? Very good. Well, thank you so much for being here. You a great compliment. Let's go to item 5, items of community interest. Again, we have early voting starts November the 2nd, general election. We be held in the Haslet Public Library. Early voting for November 2nd general election will be held in the Haslet Public Library. That started today, Monday, October the 18th, and that goes until Friday, October the 29th, 2021. I encourage all to go to the voting booth. You got constitutional changes with regard to the state of Texas, and issues like local bond elections that affect our transportation in Tarrant County. So there's important items on there. Does anyone else, council, anywhere, if you have anything of particular community interest? I know that our 5K run went very well. Anybody that was out there want to comment on that?
Well, it was very nice morning and cool, but it turned out really good. Good turnout. I did the 1K. I can't do the 1 mile, not the 3K or 5K. But it was nice, very nice.
Well, I wanted to come out, but they wouldn't. I checked in advance, and they would not let me sign up in the 11 and under category. But very good. All right, then. Let's move on. We do have 2 town hall meetings. I wasn't, but coming up November 1st and November the 6th. They're on online for anybody who wants to check that out. We got a feedback. Okay. If we move on to item number 6, monthly reports. Is any council member like to pull anything? I know that council member Ricketts had a question.
My question's to you, Marcy, on the finance reports. I noticed on some of the things going down the lines that we're getting towards the end of the year, and I'm seeing some percentages that we're pretty low on towards the end of the year. One of them that jumped out was the oil and gas royalties. Small dollars, but just wanting to see that we're on track with our budgets and everything too. If we can have any explanation of, some of these over 20% or over 25% differences.
On the oil and gas royalties, we've seen those the last few years starting to decline again. It appears that they're coming in regularly, and a couple of the companies that we get royalties from have merged. And my understanding is that they've liquidated some of their, or not liquidated, consolidated a lot of their mineral interests, and I don't know if that's causing some delay in any kind of royalty payments. I've continued to get royalty payments from monthly from those that we get them from, and so I'm not really sure what the reason for the decline is there. And then there are some other items that for one reason or another just haven't come in, but the other thing to take note of is these monthly reports are done on a cash basis. That's how we budget, on a cash basis. And so there are year-end accruals that still have yet to be made. And so those accruals will show up in the final audited statements, and then there will also be a comparison to budget in those statements as well. So there are still some adjustments for revenues and expenditures for receivables and payables. So some of those numbers that haven't quite made the mark may, once the final year-end accruals are made.
But you have no concerns or anything that what you've seen so far?
I have no concerns. I think most of them that are down, a lot of them are just kind of a cyclical type of revenue or seasonal type of revenue. And like I said, I think a lot of those will come up when we see the year-end accruals. but I don't have any concerns about anything being in jeopardy.
Thank you.
Council, does anyone have any other items they'd like to inquire on with regard to the monthly reports? If not, we'll move on to item number 7. Staff reports update on active items, projects, and event recounts. Item 7A, tennis court project update.
That's going to be Mike Anderson and David Rogers.
I don't see Mike Anderson, so David, if you could take this, please.
All right, can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can.
Yes, Mike and them, we're working on this. Matter of fact, that's one of our big goals towards the end of this month. I'm going to actually meet over with Mike at their office and start getting deep into this because we're trying to tie a couple of other small projects that are also in the park at the same time together with this and try to put it all as kind of a park-wide bid package out in hopes that we'll get some even better numbers coming back. But they have started the preliminary designs now since we already had the concept. Now we're moving to design and we'll hopefully have something hopefully sometime towards the second meeting of November, maybe first in December, to kind of start bringing forward everybody, take the park board, get everybody's feedback on how it looks, the design, the layout, make sure everybody's happy with what we're doing.
Very good. Mr. Anderson, you want to add anything to that?
No, sir. I think David covered it well. I think the goal is to, as he stated, bring back an overall exhibit showing all the projects located in the park as outlined in at the end of our engineer's report this month. See if we can't get some value for the city on the projects that are kind of all grouped together in the community park area. So we're moving into, as David stated, the preliminary design for the tennis courts themselves, and should have some more information for you folks, hopefully in about a month.
Very good. 7B, fire station spoils pile. Mr. Rogers.
Well, Mr. Sweeney has found one driver in a truck, but he has not been able to find as many as he's wanting. We are meeting this week with Coal Construction there at fire station, and we're going to also be talking to them about how much of this they're going to need to work on the parking lots. So we'll have a better idea of what we're going to need are going to be and what we'll have left over for him to come and haul away.
Very good. 7C is Public Works authorized equipment purchase update.
Yeah, the good stuff. We need to thank the council and the citizens of Haslet for funding, because we got our skid steer with our planer for it has came in, and boy, is this thing a beast. Man, can it can move some dirt when you need to. We haven't had it outside the yard too much yet. We've been doing a lot of different things, mainly learning how it operates, because it's got a lot more customizable controls than the others did. So that you can almost program, and it has a deal you can punch in to set it up however you like. If you're left-handed, right-handed, like to use your feet to maneuver, or just like to use your hands, you can custom this thing to do any of those things, any way you particularly like to operate. So it is a great investment.
Well, we're all excited for Public Works to get this equipment. Very much needed. Great.
Well, we sure thank y'all.
Let's go to 7D, our annex office, which is the Development and Permits office. Mr. Chambers, are you online?
I am, sir. As a matter of fact, I happen to be in that office. This is another one we'd like to thank council for and the citizens of Haslet. We were a little on top of each other at City Hall. And now we have an office over here where we can handle, again, inspections, permits. We take in all types of those permitted fees here. Mike should be over there with y'all, I think, in the council chamber, but his was certainly an upgrade. He had been in what was basically a computer room for some time, and now he has space where he can really pay attention to his tasks of what he's doing here instead of the noise in the background. So it's really been a fantastic move.
I want to encourage council, if y'all have not been over there, go over and visit. And right next door is the cleaners, and down at the other end of the bar or center is Roth Coffee, and you can get some chiropractor help as well as what else? There's something. Oh, get your nails done. So it's a full service center over there. Full service. We're excited for you, Thad and Mike, to have that, as well as Katarina, rather, our permit technician, to have just some good working facilities, and you get a lot done, and a lot of quality work will come out of there. Thank you. Let's go to an item, unless there's anything else anyone would like to say. We'll go to item 8, consent agenda. We have 8A, the approve a regular city council meeting minutes of October 4th, 2021. And 8B is the Tarrant County Emergency Service District number 1. It's our annual fire service contract renewal. Is Chief Mays online? There he is. Anything you want to say about just very summary on the annual fire service contract renewal? Because we do have two new council people that have not seen this yet.
So this is our contract with the Emergency Services District that covers the unincorporated areas of Tarrant County. And so we go all the way over to Denton Highway, and we go over to 287. And so they pay us an annual fee to cover that area. The only thing that's changed in the contract is they did increase the amount that they pay us this year. And they also give us a grant that allows us to spend $25,000 on certain fire EMS communication items. So again, the ESD also supplies us with a 2,000-gallon tanker / fire engine and a brush truck. We just do the routine maintenance, and they take care of all of the large maintenance items for us to respond to those apparatus out in that county area. So it's a really great partnership, and this is just the annual update with only changes in the amount they give us.
And the changes in the amount they give us is they go up or down?
It was around $7,000, I think, the increase. Should have wrote it. I don't have my.
It is.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yep. So.
Council, any questions on that? If not, then the consent agenda, if we could have a motion, please.
As the Mayor Pro Tem Morrow, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
Motion is made to approve the consent agenda as presented. Is there a second?
Councilmember Ricketts, I'll second.
There is a second, Councilmember Ricketts. I'll do a roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Morrow.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricketts.
Aye.
Councilmember Nahira.
Aye.
Councilmember Clark.
Aye.
Councilmember Robb.
Aye.
Consent agenda is approved. Thank you, Council. Let's go to item 9, public hearings, ordinances, resolutions, and action items. I'd like to make an announcement now is that Item 9D, which was Laterra Phase 2, final plat has been, was requested by the applicant to be removed. It will be on the November 8th agenda of the City Council. Likewise, item 9H, the applicant has requested that this be removed as well from our consideration. There's no future date that this would be put on unless the applicant should so request. So 9H and 9D have been removed from the agenda. We go to item 9A, discuss, consider, and act regarding approval of the appointment of City Secretary Shannon Montgomery.
Councilmember Ricketts, I move to approve the appointment of Shannon as our city secretary.
Motion is made to approve the appointment of Shannon Montgomery as City Secretary. Is there a second?
This is Councilmember Nahara. I second that.
Councilmember Nahara seconds. Roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Morrow.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricketts.
Aye.
Councilmember Nahara.
Aye.
Councilmember Clark.
Aye.
Councilmember Robb.
Aye.
Welcome aboard. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. Item 9B, discuss, consider, and act regarding appointment of Katrina White as acting city secretary, and that is to fulfill the, this is our first opportunity to have that appointment as acting. But that is until the time Ms. Montgomery starts her long tenure with the city of Haslet, and that is November 8th. So this will be, this appointment as acting city secretary will be till November the 8th.
This is Councilmember Ricketts. I move to appoint Katrina White as acting city secretary until November 8th.
Motion is made to appoint Katrina White as acting city secretary. Is there a second?
Mayor Pro Tem Morrow, second.
There is a second. Mayor Pro Tem Morrow. Roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem, motion and seconded to appoint Katrina White as acting city secretary. Roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Morrow.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricketts.
Aye.
Councilmember Nahara.
Aye.
Councilmember Clark.
Aye.
Councilmember Robb.
Aye.
Thank you, council, and thank you, Ms. White. Not the first time, is it? Item 9C, discuss, consider, and act on ordinance number 029-2021, approving and authorizing the issuance and sale of the City of Haslet, Texas, Special Assessment Revenue Bonds, Series 2021, known as Haslet Public Improvement District Number 5, Improvement Area Number 2 Project, approving and authorizing related agreements and providing for an effective date. And who, Mr. Barton, is that you taking that?
Good evening, Mayor. I'm here as Jordan Sawyer's on with Norton Rose Fulbright. I noticed that Mary Petty is on. There's Mary. Good evening. And I believe Trip Davenport from FMS Bonds has also made it on. So you've got your team here and ready to answer any questions. I can just tell you in a nutshell that the bond sale went very, very well today. Bonds were well received in the market. Got a good project here, and I think that speaks highly for it. That particularly in a market where rates have been kind of headed in a northerly direction here recently. We got in the FMS bonds folks. I got these sold to a handful of institutional investors at an overall true interest cost to the PID of under 4%, which is really quite amazing. For an idea of where we were when we were modeling this, what that does for the PID assessments and overall differential from what we were modeling. It's about $25,000 a year less in debt service. We were thinking that the annual payments were going to be about 523,000 or so, and it came in at like 500,000. So great job all around. We're real pleased with the way this came out.
Very good. Council, do you have any questions to our team with regard to this bond? Does anybody on our team or our staff have anything they want to say to the council? Well, if not, then council, I'll ask for a motion. I'd ask for a motion.
This is Councilmember Ricketts. I'll move to approve ordinance number 029-2021, approving and authorizing the issuance and sale of the City of Haslet, Texas Special Assessment Revenue Bond Series 2021 for Haslet Public Improvement District Number 5 Improvement Area Number 2 project.
Motion is made to approve ordinance number 029-2021. Is there a second?
This Councilmember Nahid, I second that.
There is a second. It's Councilmember Nahira. A roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Morrow.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricketts.
Aye.
Councilmember Nahira.
Aye.
Councilmember Clark.
Aye.
Councilmember Robb.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. I want to thank our team and all our staff that have been working on this, as well as Latera personnel, Mr. Albert and everybody. Got a great project going, and the market spoke highly favorable to that. That was very clear. So thank you all very much, and thank you, council. Item D, again, was pulled or removed by request by the applicant. It will be on our November 8th council meeting. Item 9E, hold a public hearing, discuss, consider, and act on ordinance number 026-2021 regarding a request for a zoning change from planned development residential to planned development residential with modifications pursuant to section 2.5.1 of chapter 14 of the zoning ordinance to a residential neighborhood described as the Vines subdivision within the city of Haslet, Texas, more commonly known as property along Verona Drive. Who is, I know of this particularly, but who on the staff is taking this item? Is there anyone specific? Morris?
Yes. I'll
Please.
give a short presentation on this. This is a 63.559 acre tract, and it was originally zoned as Regal Ridge, but it was platted as Vines. And the owner of the Vines, of the lots, wished to change 4 standards. First one has to do with masonry content to allow some cementatious board mixed with stone and brick. They have another one where they want to change the elevations to, actually it's more restrictive, and then they also want to change the primary pitch on the roofs from 812 to 612, and then I'll make a requirement that each house has at least 3 garages. Now, the Planning and Zoning Commission had some recommendations, and they came up with 3 things they wanted to add to this. And the first of those is that the minimum of the 3 garages, 2 of the primary ones, they have to face the side, while only 1 can face the front, the secondary. Another change was that the one that faces the front, the secondary, had to be no larger than 9 foot wide. And the third change is on the same floor plan underneath the houses that are across the street adjacent to them. They wanted to add the word massing to the floor plans have to be different, massing has to be different, and then the elevations are going to be different. So they add the word massing. It's the owner's intent to make these houses a little bit taller so you have more massing and therefore the less steep roof. So they end up having the same height basically, but there's a lot more massing of the main structure. And the Planning and Zoning Commission did approve this. They recommended it 5-1.
Mr. Kurt Dubose, are you online?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am, Mayor.
Kurt, is there anything that you would like to say to this during the presentation?
The only thing I just want to say thank you. We're looking forward to this community coming online here in Haslet. We have some wonderful families that have already actually began to contract and go down the road of design. We're really looking forward to bringing this to Haslet itself. It's an exciting time.
Very good, very good. If there's no other presentation with regard to this item, then we'll go to the public hearing. Okay, I will open the public hearing on item 9E. Is there anyone that would like to speak to item 9E? I do not have any letters or any notices of intent to speak.
This is Patricia Hilborn. I would like to speak, sir.
Did I hear somebody?
Yes. This is Patricia Hilborn, 2207 Virginia Lane, and I would like to speak in favor of this item. Thank you.
Very good. Well, thank you, Ms. Hilborn. Is there any others out there on the teleconference that would like to speak on this item? There are none that I see or hear. There's no one in the chambers. So I will close the public hearing. Go to item 3 is discussion. Council, yours.
Yes,
I would like to make a comment. So from the very beginning of this, I was have been following this item and have met with the developer, Mr. Kurt Dubose, and very attractive community, very high quality homes. His requests they're good. I think it just, the beginning matter became when it was, I believe, Ridgel Ridge, and then became the Vines, and there was just some administrative cleanup that needed to be done, and this all takes that into account. Councilmember Clark, Councilmember Robb, any discussion item? Anything you would like to speak on here? Okay, very good. There's no discussion with the council, then we'll go to item 4. Consideration and action.
When I make the motion, are the planning and zoning recommendations included in that, or do I need to call that out specifically?
they're actually been included into the ordinance that was prepared.
I'm ready to make a motion then.
Please.
I make a motion to approve the request for a zoning change from planned development residential to planned development residential with modifications as presented.
And thereby approving ordinance. Please mention the ordinance.
Thank you. Ordinance number 026-2021. Thank you.
Motion is made to approve ordinance number 026-2021 regarding a request for a zoning change from planned development residential to planned development residential with modifications. Is there a second?
Councilmember Ricketts, I'll second.
There is a second. As Councilmember Ricketts. Have a roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Morrow.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricketts.
Aye.
Councilmember Nahira.
Aye.
Councilmember Clark.
Aye.
Councilmember Robb.
So, question, there's what's shown on the screen as ordinance number 030. I think the motion was 026, so I'm a bit confused.
There appears to be an error. The ordinance number, thank you, Councilmember Robb, ordinance number 030-2021 versus 026-2021 in our agenda. I am assuming that the ordinance number on the screen would take precedence. Who on the city secretary, Katrina White acting, or Rob Alabon? Who can, if I were to make a suggestion, I would go with the ordinance number on the screen that's actually in the ordinance itself.
In that case, I'll vote aye. It's just administrative change, so I think we're probably good. And the last ordinance was 029, we know that. So this one must be.
Councilmember Robb, I would ask that you would make a motion to amend the ordinance number.
It's Councilmember Robb, I move to amend the motion to restate that the ordinance applicable is 030-2021.
Okay, the motion is made to restate the ordinance number 030-2021. Is there a second?
Mayor Halsey, I think we still have some questions on the
What
ordinance number.
What do we have? Then we got the wrong ordinance up here. We have the wrong ordinance. The agenda, okay. Can we get the correct, do we have the correct ordinance?
Mayor, this is Rob. That looks like the correct ordinance. I think the ordinance number may just be incorrect. I'm not sure who prepared that ordinance. But item 9G on the agenda, which is the annexation ordinance, is listed on the agenda as 030-2021, which is the same number as ordinance that was just up on the agenda.
Why don't we take a chance and pull up the PDF under 9G? Okay, we had a motion on the floor in a second to change that ordinance number. So it appears to be in question, I would ask that someone make a motion that we suspend or to table this item until we can, for somewhere in the time of this meeting that we can iron this issue out.
Mayor,
Unless
do you
you've
want
got,
me- do you
excuse
want me
me,
to, okay.
unless Rob Alabon, if you got another suggestion as to handle this.
No, sir, I think, I don't know if Katrina or anybody that when this agenda was put together, these ordinance numbers were assigned, if they can add any context to the correct ordinance number here. Otherwise, we could go ahead and approve it with ordinance number 026. And as part of the motion, you could direct the city secretary to reassign that a different number if that number has already been used by another ordinance.
Sounds like that'd be the most expedient thing to do. Okay.
This is Councilmember Rob. I'll withdraw my motion.
Okay, and that motion is withdrawn, and so that we have a current then we have the motion and second on the floor with regard to ordinance number 026, 2021. All right, I will go ahead and do a roll call vote on that. Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Morrow.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricketts.
Aye.
Councilmember Nahira.
Aye.
Councilmember Clark.
Aye.
Councilmember Robb.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes 5-0 with instruction to the city secretary to correct this ordinance number. If 026 has already been used, then it should be reassigned and inform the council as such. The motion passes 5-0. Thank you all.
Thank you, council.
Item 9F, hold a public hearing, discuss, consider, and act on ordinance number 028, 2021 regarding a zoning change request from R2 to NC, NC being neighborhood commercial, to R2. Pursuant to section 2.5.1 of chapter 14 of the zoning ordinance to residential R2 zoning on lots described as lots 1, 2, 30, and 31, Block 1, Belgrande Estates within the city of Haslet, Texas, more commonly known as 1302 and 1304 South State Highway 156. Before we get there, please check the PDF and see if we have a similar situation here. All right, so the ordinance number is not been assigned there. Okay, and this is amending comprehensive plan zoning map ordinance. Okay, and this is the sub-residential subdivision amended tract. All right, very good. Quality check. This is it. All right. Use this public. We just needed to check. So let's go to staff presentation. Mr. Morris.
Yes. Mayor Halsey and members of the council, this is a 3.36 acre zoning change. And when you go back to the zoning map, existing zoning map, there's some overlapping areas that are NC and R2. Make sure all bases are covered. We included the R2 and the NC. But this is at the entrance of Belgrande Street, which is under construction right now. And what they wish to do is to remove the NC zoning and make it all R2 with the two lots adjacent to 156 being 25,000 square feet, and the remaining lots 20,000. And in reviewing this, there is an appendix D in the fire code which says if you have more lots than 30, then you can't do it unless there's a variance to the fire code, which they're going to put on the plat as a note. And they have already submitted that plat, and they are going to incorporate that note on it. And what this does is it removes commercial zoning at the entrance of the subdivision, keeping all the traffic on Belgrand Avenue as residential, instead of having to intermix the traffic right there at the
I know that this has been reviewed by our fire marshal, and their comments to this, their recommendation is up or down.
They recommended approval of this.
Very good.
Yeah, it's a difficult track. It's sort of landlocked with only one entrance going into this long, skinny track. It's basically the only way to handle the situation.
Is there any other presentation on this item? Any questions for Morris?
The planning and zoning, you said they was unanimous approval?
Yes, they recommend.
So you said it was going to be reduced from 25,000 square foot to what?
Well, the two corner lots are much larger. They're over an acre right now. And the R2 zoning prescribes 20,000 square foot lots. So they're going to take, and some of the two existing lots that you see on the map behind you or in front of you, they're a little bit over 20,000, and they're going to reduce those a little bit and take the 1 acre lot and take 20,000 off for a lot, and then the remaining is 25,000 feet at the entrance. This happens on both sides of the Belgrand. So they're reducing the acre lot down to 25.
If I'm looking at this correctly, if you looked at I think the chart's a little bit above this, Stephen. The chart's above it. They're basically taking the two commercial lots and splitting them into two on both
Yes.
sides. Okay.
And then on that lot 5, is that the 1.3 acre? Is that a house as well?
No, that's a drainage.
Okay, because I was like 33, but it's really 32. I didn't think that was, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, when you look at the numbers, that's actually indicated as a lot, but it's not a buildable lot. It's not a unit in the calculation.
Any other questions for our staff on the presentation? If not, I will go to public hearing. Does anyone like to speak on this issue with regard to item 9G? Excuse me, not 9G. I stated the wrong item. This is item 9F. I see none on the teleconference. I have none in the chambers. So I will close the public hearing. Let's go to 3, discussion. Council.
I had one other question, because I've seen it both ways. Is it Belgrand or is it Belgrande with the E? I've seen it printed both ways, and I just want to clarify.
Just to make sure, I actually pulled a record from Tarrant County. There is no E.
Very good. Any other questions, council?
This is Councilmember Rob. I couldn't hear that answer. Would someone restate it?
Yeah, this is Morris Schwanke. I pulled the records from Tarrant County Clerk's Office, and there is no E on the end of Grand. So it's just Belgrand.
Well, thanks for answering that. I've wondered that myself.
If there are no other questions, we'll go to 4, consideration and action.
This is Councilmember Ricketts. I move to approve ordinance number 028-2021.
Motion is made to approve ordinance number 028-2021. Is there a second?
Councilmember Rob, I'll second.
Councilmember Rob seconds. A roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Morrow.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricketts.
Aye.
Councilmember Nahira.
Aye.
Councilmember Clark.
Aye.
Councilmember Robb.
Aye.
Thank you, council. Motion passes 5-0. Item 9G. Hold a public hearing, discuss, consider, and act on ordinance number 03-2021, voluntary annexing an appropriate 119.788 acre tract of land situated in the Coleman Boyd Survey Abstract 225, Tarrant County, Texas, and being a portion of that certain tract of land described as Tract 2 in a deed to Latera Development, LLC, recorded in instrument number D219038309, deed records, Tarrant County, Texas, commonly known as Latera Phase 2, into the city of Haslet, Texas, for all municipal purposes. Staff presentation. Again,
Mayor, if it pleases, I'll take this. This is Rob.
Rob, thank you.
Yes, sir. Council, as you'll recall, the Latera development originally was in the city's ETJ. The development agreement between the city and the developer provides for voluntary annexation of the Latera property in phases as the property develops and as bonds are issued for those phases. Developer previously annexed phases 1 and phase 3 into the city, and that leaves phase 2 of the property remaining in the city's ETJ. As you know, tonight you issued bonds for improvement area number 2, which consists of phases 2, 3 of the development, and therefore the developer has submitted a request for voluntary annexation of the last remaining portion of the Latera property, that being 119.788 acres, which is phase 2 of Latera. So in accordance with local government code, chapter 43, we prepared an agreement regarding services to be provided after annexation, which is the same agreement that was used when we annexed the other portions of the territory. In order to annex the property, a public hearing must be held. The city published notice and advertised tonight as a public hearing on this item. All other requirements of the law have been met. Proposed annexation. Council is asked to conduct a public hearing and then act on the ordinance annexing phase 2 of the Latera development in the city. I'll try to address any questions if there are any.
Council, do you have any questions? Councilmember Robb or Councilmember Clark?
This is Councilmember Rob. So this is the last piece of Latera, and after tonight, assuming this is approved, the entire development will have been annexed. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Jim. I'm sorry.
I said yes also.
Any other questions, council?
I do want to point out, though, that this is the one that I believe you recognized, Rob, that you said that the agenda says 030-2021, yet on both the ordinance, on the staff report and the ordinance itself is left blank. Do we still want to write this in as 030-2021?
Yes, sir. I think because we went ahead and assigned the other ordinance, 026, I'm assuming that 030 on the agenda is correct. When I prepare the staff report and the ordinance, I leave the ordinance number blank, as that's the city secretary's duty to assign whatever the appropriate number is. So that's why those are blank in the ordinance itself and in the staff report. But I guess I would suggest doing the same thing and going ahead and using 030 for this ordinance. And then if that happens to be incorrect, the city secretary will have to reassign it another number. But at this point, I'm assuming that number is correct.
Would you
the
scroll
numbers
down
are-
on the screen?
there's
Let me
all-
see the ordinance itself.
30.
Okay, this,
Ordinance.
excuse me, Jim, we can't hear anything. I didn't know you were speaking. Say that again. Jim. You're muted.
That would solve some problems. The agenda was structured that 26 was the Vines, 27 was Blue Mountain Road, FM 156, 28 was Bell Grand, 29 was the Bonds, and 30 was Laterra annexation. The 030 and the ordinance, the first one on 026, that was an error. But everything should be good because Katrina went through all the ordinance numbers in Kathleen's office and made sure these were good.
So 030 is good for this item, this ordinance?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, council, so we've got confirmation 030-2021 is a good ordinance number for this item. I will open up unless there's any other questions with regard here, I will open up the public hearing then. Is there anyone that would like to speak to this item?
Yes, I would.
And please identify yourself.
This is Patricia Hilborn, 2207 Virginia Lane, Haslet. I'd like to speak in favor of this annexation and welcome the remaining property in Laterra to our fair city, and look forward to seeing new houses come into our city. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hilborn. Is there anyone else that'd like to speak to this item? Okay, I see none, hear none on via teleconference. I have none in the chambers, so I will close the public hearing and go to 3, discussion. Council, any discussion on this item? I see no desire for discussion on this. I'll go to 4, consideration and action. A motion, please.
Mayor Halsey,
Yes.
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 030-2021, annexing approximately 119.78 acres in the tract of land situated in the Coleman Boyd Survey Abstract 225, Tarrant County, Texas, and being a portion of that tract land described in Tract 2 and deed to Laterra Development, LLC.
Motion is made to approve ordinance number 030-2021. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There is a second. That is Mayor Pro Tem Morrow. A roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Morrow.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricketts.
Aye.
Councilmember Nahira.
Aye.
Councilmember Clark.
Aye.
Councilmember Robb.
So I think we started this process in 2012. So it's really affirming that we finally see this happen. So I'm happy to vote aye.
Voting aye. Very good. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you, council. And again, to reiterate, Ms. Hilborn, welcome Laterra in whole. All 3 phases. Very good. Item 9H, again, as announced previously, has been removed per the applicant's request. Item 9I, Discuss, consider, and act regarding approving the community facilities agreement between the City of Haslet and TMS Sweetgrass LLC for the Sweetgrass Addition Phase 1A. And who is?
David Rogers.
Say that again?
This will be Mike Anderson and David Rogers.
Yes, can you hear us?
Yes.
Yeah, this is again similar agreements to what we've had before, but this is so that we can get their community facilities in place for their subdivision. I believe this is the exact same as we did for Waterworks, if I remember correctly. The only thing difference is the locations and the lengths and sizes of pipes have changed, but otherwise the agreement itself is generally the same agreement. Mike may have a couple other things.
Yeah, just a couple of quick items of note on this particular item. 9I, I guess it would be for Phase 1A. This particular CFA covers the on-site improvements associated with Phase A, drainage, utilities, and paving. It also includes two off-site components of the Sweetgrass project, that being partial construction of Intermodal Parkway extension, as well as the payment to the city in lieu of construction of the Blue Mound Road frontage in front of the project. So I just wanted to point that out for Phase 1A. It does have off-site improvements covered towards the tail end of the agreement.
Very good, thank you. Council, do you have any questions? Councilmember Clark, Councilmember Robb, any questions? All right, very good. I ask for a motion then.
I have a quick question. Am I correct in reading this? It says the city attorney, it is requested that the city attorney review the document prior to it being sent to the developer for execution. Is that still accurate?
Yeah, he has already done that. He did that last Thursday.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Okay.
This is Mayor Pro Tem Morrow. I would like to make a motion to approve the community facilities agreement between the City of Haslet and TM Sweetgrass LLC for the Sweetgrass Addition Phase 1A.
Motion is made to approve the community facilities agreement between City of Haslet and TM Sweetgrass LLC for the Sweetgrass Addition Phase 1A. Is there a second?
This is Councilmember Clark. I'll second.
Councilmember Clark seconds. Roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Morrow.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricketts.
Aye.
Councilmember Nahira.
Aye.
Councilmember Clark.
Aye.
Councilmember Robb.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Thank you, Council. Item 9J. Discuss, consider, and act regarding approving the community facilities agreement between the City of Haslet and Taylor Morrison of Texas for the Sweetgrass Addition Phase 1C. Mr. Rogers, Mr. Anderson.
Same thing, same song, except this one is all internal. It does have sewer. This is more, has more sewer stuff in it than the other did, but it is basically the same kind of agreement. And Mike has a couple of other items that he has in this.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes, sir. This should be noted that this agreement is with the actual builder who has taken, will take control over some of the lots there in the subdivision. And as David stated, this particular agreement covers internal or on-site facilities only. There are no off-site facilities associated with this particular phase via the agreement.
Very good. Council, any questions? Councilmember Clark or Councilmember Robb, any questions?
Councilmember Rob, I just have a comment. It seems to me that for a builder to acquire an entire phase speaks pretty well of the market right now, and I think they may be anxious to get building houses in this subdivision.
Thank you. A motion, please.
Mayor Halsey,
Yes.
I make a motion to approve the community facilities agreement between the city of Haslet and Taylor Morrison of Texas for the Sweetwater Addition Phase 1C or IC.
Motion is made to approve the community facility agreement between the city of Haslet and Taylor Morrison of Texas for the Sweetgrass Addition Phase 1C. Is there a second? Is there a second?
It's Councilmember Ricketts. I'll say.
There is a second, and that's Councilmember Ricketts. Roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Morrow.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricketts.
Aye.
Councilmember Nahira.
Aye.
Councilmember Clark.
Aye.
Councilmember Robb.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Thank you, Council. Item 9K, discuss, consider, and act regarding a developer agreement between the Northwest Independent School District and the City of Haslet for the acquisition of parcels 12DE and 26DE as required for the Haslet Parkway project. Mr. Chambers.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. We are finally winding down. I know y'all won't be sorry to see these go away. The agreement before you is, as the mayor said in the subject matter, for parcels 12, 12DE, and 26DE. These are actually bookends for the second part of this project. The agreement is that the city would offer a credit in lieu of cash payment for the rights of way value on 12 and 12DE of up to $178,185. Again, that was the appraised value on those two parcels. No value was given to 26DE. It is required as part of the original Latera development agreement, and any part of that drainage easement that is not utilized for the project would be granted back to the school district when they go to build the high school. Because of the timing, well, actually, there's one other point. The credit amount could not exceed 50% of the total eligible fees. So if the permit fee had not been twice that value, it would only have been 50% was available. It turned out the permit fees did exceed the double of the 178,185. So when they came in for the middle school permit, we offset that permit by that amount. We believe this agreement is, again, as we've discussed, been negotiating good faith with the ISD on these parcels. This has been reviewed by their legal counsel and our legal counsel, and it is before you tonight for consideration, and then we'll go to the school board again for their consideration. I'll answer any questions you may have.
Councilmember Clark, Councilmember Robb, you have any questions?
So this consideration only applies to middle school fees, correct? Not high school fees or future fees.
Yes, sir. It was only for the middle school because we had a feeling that the permit fees would, again, if we did offer a 50% offset, that they would meet the maximum value that was provided in the appraisal of the property. So this, no future fees are to be waived or reduced as part of this agreement. only the amount that has already been taken off of the middle school permit fees.
This only, Councilmember Rob, this only has to do with these permit fees, which is limited to $178,000. Any other questions, council? Not, I ask for a motion. Councilmember Nahira, can you give us a motion?
Yes, sir. I move to approve the developer agreement between the Northwest Independent School District and the City of Haslet for the acquisition of parcels 12, 12DE, and 26DE as required for the Haslet Parkway project.
Motion is made to approve the developer agreement between the Northwest Independent School District and the City of Haslet for the acquisition of parcels 12, 12DE, and 26DE as required for the Haslet Parkway project. Is there a second?
This Councilmember Clark, I'll second.
There is a second. It's Councilmember Clark. Roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Morrow.
I'm going to abstain.
Mayor Pro Tem Morrow abstains. Councilmember Ricketts.
Aye.
Councilmember Nahira.
Aye.
Councilmember Robb.
Aye.
Councilmember Clark.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-1 abstain. Item 9L. Discuss, consider, and act regarding memorandums of agreement between RJS1 LLC and the City of Haslet for the acquisition of Parcel 10 right-of-way, permanent drainage easement, and temporary construction easements as required for the Haslet Parkway project, and to authorize payment and signatures as required to close the transactions. Mr. Chambers and Mr. Alabon.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Parcel 10 is the one that we thought we had an agreement, but it sold at the 11th hour. We were able to engage the new ownership very quickly and negotiate in good faith. And the offer that we landed on was within our authority to bring to you. Again, that was previous authority granted, but y'all still make the decisions. And that is for $39,472. That is about $4,000 more than we thought we originally had it for, but the new owner had a little more specific cost considerations, and we felt it was reasonable to come, and again, as long as it was well within authorization, to bring that forward. This will be the next to the last one you will see, knock on wood, if everything closes. Only parcel 14 will remain. I'll answer any questions you may have.
So this is Mayor Halsey. So you're just authorizing the acquisition of Parcel 10. It's because you're asking for a memorandum of agreement. What's that about?
The memorandum of agreement is basically, Rob, help me on this one. We've done these on virtually every one of the acquisitions. It just details how the parcels will be split down and paid for, Mayor. And on the agreement, and thank you for bringing it up, because there is one point. It is the same as we had offered the previous owner. We are willing to waive the $200 permit fee for access out on the Haslet Parkway if it meets the city's standards for a drive access. So again, we're not guaranteeing anything other than if they make application, the engineers will review that under our current standards so that they could have access out on the Haslet Parkway.
Understood.
That was the other caveat. Thank you for bringing that up, Mayor.
And again, so you were, the settled or the offer is under the authorized level by council?
Yes, sir. I apologize. I just muted myself. Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, very good. All right. Council, any other questions or anything?
Councilmember Rob, I'm not familiar with where this one is. What corner is it?
I apologize, we didn't have a very good map on this one. I did that for the last ones. This is actually the very first parcel in the second phase. The property address is on Lewis Lane. And so this is the back clip of that property that we had before. Yep, there you go. That would be Haslet Parkway if you're showing on the map. And right where that red little triangle is, all the property north of that and to the left of that is what we're talking about. That's the entirety of the property, and we're just acquiring the little right of way.
Okay, understand.
Very good. There's no other questions. I ask for a motion.
It's Councilmember Ricketts. I move to approve the memorandum of agreement between RGS 1 LLC and the City of Haslet for the acquisition of Parcel 10 right-of-way.
Motion is made to approve memorandums of agreement between RGS 1 LLC and the City of Haslet for acquisition of Parcel 10 right-of-way. Is there a second?
Councilmember Rob, a second.
Councilmember Rob seconds. Roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Morrow.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricketts.
Aye.
Councilmember Nahira.
Aye.
Councilmember Clark.
Aye.
Councilmember Robb.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Thank you, council. Good job, council, as always. Item 10, executive session. We've had our executive session. There is no need for an executive session for what's been on this agenda. I'll go item 11. Consider and take any action resulting from the executive session. We have taken that already with earlier in the meeting, welcoming aboard our new city secretary, Shannon Montgomery. Again, thank you and welcome. Item 12, future agendas items. Council.
This is Councilmember Rob. Just a question about future meetings. We're getting into the November and December, and I can't remember what dates the council approved for November and December previously. I think around January or February. I know December is one meeting only. I don't remember about November.
November is one meeting, and that will be November the 8th for November. One in November and one in December.
Okay, thank you.
Is December the 13th? Is that the correct date for December?
Katrina, can you confirm that? Is that December 13th? Council will confirm that, and we'll send out an email tomorrow morning. December 13th, that's correct. Very good. All right then. No future agenda items. Item 13, adjourn. Is there a motion?
It's Councilmember Ricketts. I move to adjourn the meeting.
Councilmember Ricketts moves to adjourn. Is there a second?
Councilmember Nahara, I second.
Councilmember Nahira seconds. Roll call vote. Mayor Pro Tem Morrow.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricketts.
Aye.
Councilmember Nahira.
Aye.
Councilmember Clark.
Aye.
Councilmember Robb.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0, and this meeting of the Haslet City Council on October 18, 2021 is adjourned at 8:21 p.m. Well, goodbye, Mr. Alabon. Thank you, council. Thank you, staff. Good job.
This conference is no longer being recorded.